UMG just clapped back at Drake. And it's brutal, Drake just got a reality check. UMG has officially responded to his lawsuit, and they didn't hold back. They hit him with a 25-page legal rebuttal, dismantling his claims piece by piece. But here's where it gets even crazier. UMG is using Drake's own tactics against him, flipping the script with song lyrics and hard facts, except they're using actual legal arguments, while Drake was out here citing YouTube streams and fan pages as evidence. Let's break this down. Drake, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, loses a rap battle that he started, refuses to take the L, and then sues his own label. UMG isn't buying it, and their response makes that clear. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. This means Drake's lawsuit is a joke, and they want the judge to throw it out for good. And let's be real, if Drake had won this battle, would he be in court right now? No way, he'd be on a world tour bragging about it, just like he did after Meek Mill. UMG even points out that Drake begged Kendrick to respond for weeks, acting like he had some kind of nuclear button ready to go. He went on Instagram taunting, "They got nothing for me," acting like he was untouchable. But when Kendrick finally responded, game over. And here's the kicker. UMG is calling out Drake's own hypocrisy. His lawsuit basically argues that Kendrick's lyrics defamed him. But if that's the case, Drake did the exact same thing. Remember when he accused Kendrick of having a secret love child, or when he implied domestic abuse? If using song lyrics as a fact in court is fair game, then Drake is just as guilty. Let's not forget one of Drake's biggest missteps, his AI-generated Tupac diss. UMG highlights this as proof that Drake wasn't just rapping, he was orchestrating a smear campaign. And if we're talking about defamation, then what about Drake pushing the Epstein rumors about himself? He basically fed Kendrick that angle just so he could act like he was prepared for it. UMG even pulled up decade-old receipts, like the 2010 video of Drake flirting with a 17-year-old girl on stage. They're showing that the rumors didn't start with Kendrick. They've been swirling for years. UMG isn't just shutting down the defamation claims, they're ripping apart Drake's entire argument. They point out that he's had a lucrative business relationship with them for almost 2 decades, and now, suddenly, they're the bad guys. Not to mention, if defamation was really the issue, why isn't Drake suing Kendrick instead of his own label? And let's be real, public figures almost never win defamation lawsuits. It's nearly impossible to prove actual malice, and Drake's case looks especially weak. UMG knows this, which is why they're pushing for the case to be dismissed immediately. Drake fans are out here desperate to rewrite history. They've spent nearly a year trying to twist the narrative in his favor, doxing people, buying 30 copies of his album, and even picking fights in real life. One girl literally showed up to fight over the beef. This is how deep the delusion runs. And what's even more embarrassing, Drake's own marketing tactics have been exposed. His team was literally paying creators to fake viral trends for his album, the same thing he accused Kendrick of doing. Meanwhile, Drake's tour in Australia just collapsed. His team claimed it was due to a scheduling conflict, but fans aren't buying it. The truth. The shows weren't selling, and the crowds were noticeably weak compared to his usual stadium status. Yet despite this conflict, Drake has had plenty of time for public appearances. At this point, Drake is in full victim mode, ranting about how people in the industry abandoned him. Drake isn't just taking an L in the rap battle, he's taking an L in real life. His lawsuit is crumbling, his tour is struggling, and his marketing schemes are being exposed. And the craziest part, even if he somehow wins this lawsuit, it'll set a dangerous precedent for hip-hop and artistic freedom. All he had to do was take the loss and move on, but instead, he's dragging this out, making himself look even worse. At the end of the day, rap beef is about skill, not lawsuits, and Drake played himself. For more of this content, kindly like and subscribe.